साईं जनन मरण में साईं तन मन प्राण में साईं तन मन प्राण में साईं 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 शयन सपन में साईं गगन पवन में साईं शयन सपन में साईं जनन मरण में साईं जनन मरण में साईं 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 साईं
सद्गुरु ब्रह्म सनातन है सद्गुरु ब्रह्म सनातन है परम दया जन्मज दुख विनाशन है जन्मज दुख विनाशन है जगदोधारण कारण जगदोधारण कारण है साईं कृष्ण जनार्दन है साईं कृष्ण जनार्दन है भव भय जलधि तारण है भव भय जलधि तारण है सद्गुरु ब्रह्म सनातन है परम दया घन पावन है जन्मज दुख विनाशन है जगदोधारण कारण हे साई कृष्ण जनार्दन हे जनार्दन हे जनार्दन हे जनार्दन हे साई कृष्ण जनार्दन हे भव भय जलधि कारण हे भव भय जलधि कारण हे सद्गुरु ब्रह्म सनातन हे
श्री मधुसूदन कृष्णा गिरिधर श्याम मुरारी 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 भक्तवत्सल प्रभु हे गिरिधारी भक्तवत्सल प्रभु हे गिरिधारी भक्तवत्सल प्रभु हे गिरिधारी भक्तवत्सल प्रभु हे गिरिधारी राधारमण श्री हरि
राधारमण श्री हरि
राधारमण श्री हरि
राधारमण श्री हरि
केशव माधव साधु संरक्षक
केशव माधव साधु संरक्षक
केशव माधव साधु संरक्षक
केशव माधव साधु संरक्षक
कृष्ण मुरारी साई कृष्ण मुरारी
साई कृष्ण मुरारी
श्री मधुसूदन कृष्णा गिरिधर श्याम मुरारी
श्री मधुसूदन
कृष्णा गिरिधर श्याम भक्तवत्सल प्रभु हे गिरिधारी
भक्तवत्सल प्रभु
हे गिरिधारी राधारमण श्री हरि केशव माधव साधु संरक्षक
केशव माधव साधु संरक्षक
साई कृष्ण मुरारी
साई कृष्ण मुरारी
साई कृष्ण मुरारी
निरुपम गुण सदना चरणा नीरज दल नयना
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 काषायाम्बर वेषाधारण कलियुग अवतारा काषायाम्बर वेषाधारण कलियुग अवतारा नित्य रंजना निर्मल चरिता निरुपम योगेन्द्रा
नित्यरञ्जना निर्मल चरिता निरुपम योगेन्द्रा
नित्य रंजना निर्मल चरिता निरुपम योगेन्द्रा
नित्यरञ्जना निर्मल चरिता निरुपम योगेन्द्रा
महातेज नटराज विराज आश पाश नाश ईशा
महातेज नटराज विराज आश पाश नाश ईशा
महातेज नटराज विराज आश पाश नाश ईशा
तेज नटराज विराज आश पाश नाश ईशा
निरुपम गुण सदना चरणा नीरज दल नयना
निरुपम गुण सदना चरणा नीरज दल नयना
आशायाम्बर वेषाधारण कलियुग अवतारा नित्य रंजना निर्मल चरिता निरुपम योगेन्द्रा महातेज नटराज विराज आश पाश नाश ईशा महातेज नटराज विराज आश पाश नाश ईशा निरुपम गुण सदना चरणा नीरज दल नयना
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव साई देवा साई माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा साई माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम साई माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा साई माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम मुझे शक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे शक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे भक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे भक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे मुक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे मुक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा साई माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम साई माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा तेरे चरणों में साई मेरा कोटि प्रणाम मुझे शक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे भक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे मुक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा मुझे मुक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा साई माता पिता गुरु बंधु सखा
On this auspicious Vijayadashmi evening, I offer my heartfelt gratitude to the Divine Mother. Her blessings have once again made this Navaratri a glorious celebration in our beloved Sathya Sai Grama. With deepest reverence, I offer my love to Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. Respected elders, esteemed guests, dear sisters and brothers, and our global family joining us live, Sai Ram and warm Dashara greetings to all. Sisters and brothers, what an incredible celebration these past 10 days have been, filled with devotion, energy, and uplifting vibrations from various pujas, homas. Navaratri has been celebrated with great enthusiasm and dedication. Over the course of these days, more than 20 homas were performed, each invoking different deities for the health, well-being, and prosperity of the entire world. This morning, we concluded the Navaratri homas with the Lakshmi Narayana Hridaya Homa and the Kubera Lakshmi Homa. Today being the final day, we bid farewell to the Divine Mother with the Devi Baran, praying that she continues to grace us with her presence year after year. The final Durga Aarti was offered, and the traditional Sindur Khela was observed by all the married women. The idols were then taken in a procession, culminating in the Visarjan ceremony. Over the past few days, we also witnessed the Maharudra Yajna, during which 133 Rudra Homas were performed. This culminated in Agni Samyojane, Kumbhabhishekam, and Mahapurnahuti. The celebrations were conducted with deep faith, strictly adhering to scriptural injunctions. One of the priests shared the significance of these rituals, praying that Lord Shiva and the Divine Mother bless all participants and enable them to reap the spiritual benefit of these yajnas. After Rudrabhishekam, Ashtavadhana Seva was offered to the Lord. We were also graced by the presence of the Governor of Maharashtra, Sri Radhakrishnaji, who hailed the celebrations that have taken place here and shared the conversation that he had with Sadhguru on the purification of society by the students who are the future generation. Sadhguruji, in his benedictory address, laid out the role that Bharat has to play in the spiritual emancipation of the world. He mentioned that it is the spiritual effulgence of wisdom that illumines the whole universe, and Bharat is a carrier of that wisdom. He also expressed his appreciation for the priests, volunteers, and everyone who worked tirelessly to make this Navaratri celebration a success, and he conferred his blessings on all. As we commence our evening program, we welcome our Veda Pathshala students for the Vedic invocation. They will be chanting the Srinivasa Gadyam.
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ अयं भगवान् श्रीमदखिलमहीमण्डलमण्डलधरणीधरमण्डल खण्डलस्य निखिलसुरासुरवन्दितवराहक्षेत्रविभूषणस्य शेषाचल गरुडाचल सिंहाचल वृषभाचल नारायणाचल अञ्जनाचलादिशिखरिमालाकुलस्य नाथमुखबोधनिधि विधिगुणसाभरण सत्त्वनिधि तत्त्वनिधि भक्तिगुणपूर्ण श्रीशैलपूर्ण गुणवंशवदन परमपुरुष कृपापूरविभ्रमद तुङ्गशृङ्गगलद्गगनगङ्गा समालिङ्गितस्य सीमादिगगुणरामानुजमुनिनामाङ्कित बहुभूमाश्रयसुरधामालयवन रामायतवन सीमा परिवृत विशङ्कटतट निरन्तर विजृम्भित भक्तिरस निर्जरानन्तार्याहार्य प्रश्रवणधारा पूरविभ्रमद सलिल भरभरित महातटाकमण्डितस्य कलिकर्दममलमर्दन कलितोद्यम विलसद्यम नियमादिम मुनिगण निषेव्यमान प्रत्यक्षी भवन्निज सलिल समज्जन नमज्जन निखिल पापनाशन पावनाशन तीर्था ध्यासि तस्य मुरारि सेवक जरादि पीडित निरार्ति जीवन निराश भूसुर वराति सुंदर सुरांगनारति करांग सौष्ठव कुमारताकृति कुमार तारक समापनोदय धनून पातक महापदामय विहापनोदित सकल भुवन विदित कुमार धारा विधान तीर्थ दिष्टितस्य धरणि तलगत सकल हत कलिल शुभ सलिल गत बहुल विविध मलहति चतुर रुचिरतर विलोकन मात्र विधलित विविध महापातक स्वामी पुष्करिणी समेतस्य बहु संकट नरकावट पतदुत्कट कलिकंकट कलुषोद्भट जनपादक विनिपादक रुचि नाटक करहाटक कलशाहृत कमलारत शुभ मज्जन जल सज्जन भर भरित निज दुरित हति निरत जन सतत निरस्त निरर्गल पेपीयमान सलिल संवृत विशंकट कटाह तीर्थ विभूषितस्य एवमादिम भूरि मञ्जिम सर्वपादक गर्वहापक सिन्धुडम्बर हरिशम्भर विविध विपुल पुण्यतीर्थ निवह निवासस्य श्रीमतो वेङ्कटाचलस्य शिखरि शेखर महाकल्पशाखी सतत पद्मालया पद पद्मरेणु संचित वक्षस्थल पटवासः श्री भूनीला अलर्मेल मंगा समेता श्री श्रीनिवासः सुप्रीत सुप्रसन्नो विजयताम् तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयाः दिवि इव चक्षुरादातम् तद्विप्रासो विपन्यवो जाघ्रुवां सस्समिन्धते विष्णोर्यत्परमं पदम् श्रियः कान्ताय कल्याण निधये निधयेऽर्थिनाम् श्रीवेङ्कटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मङ्गलम् हरिः ओम्
This year, once again, with full hearts, we continue the sacred tradition of Gurukulam Paramparantarana Utsava, where the wisdom and responsibilities of the past are lovingly entrusted to the hands of the future. Just a few days ago, during the Sai Spurti alumni meet, Sadhguru expounded on the verse from the Sikshavalli, Acharyaya Priyam Dhanamahritya Prajatantum Ma Vyavachetsi, which highlights the importance of continuing the legacy of teaching and learning by the pupils. It is in this spirit of reverence that forms the cornerstone of not just the Guru Sishya Parampara, but also the Guru Guru Parampara. Under the ever compassionate guidance of Sadhguru, the Sri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Gurukulam group of institutions proudly continues this timeless tradition, the Guru Guru Parampara. It's not just about passing on knowledge, but also about empowering each new Guru to shape the future with wisdom, compassion, and courage. On this auspicious Vijayadashmi, we honor the Gurukulam Paramparantarana Utsava, celebrating the commitment and sacrifices of our esteemed senior servitors who have selflessly nurtured and transformed countless lives. Their dedication embodies the values taught by Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai and serves as an enduring inspiration to all of us. We will now have a short video on this parampara and the experiences shared by the Palakas after taking charge over the past 1 year.
In the rich tapestry of Indian spirituality, the concept of Paramparantarana Utsav stands as a pillar of tradition, wisdom, and transformative guidance. Derived from the Sanskrit terms parampara, lineage, and antarana, inheritance, it emphasizes the importance of continuity and the responsible stewardship of knowledge, arts, and practices that define an institution's identity. The Sri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Gurukulam group of institutions fosters exemplary human beings through free, values-based education for underprivileged rural children. The goal is to empower these students to become the teachers and leaders of tomorrow. In 2015, Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai envisioned students becoming torchbearers and mentors, nurturing a legacy of transformative education. This vision was to revive the ancient Indian tradition of Guru Parampara, establishing a sustainable mentorship model where knowledge and wisdom are passed down through generations. During Vijayadashmi last year, the first cohort of postgraduates from the Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence became Pradhana Palakas, embodying this timeless tradition. Empowered by the holistic education they received, these young men and women in their 20s, equipped with knowledge and a strong sense of purpose, took on the responsibilities as an act of giving back.
These youngsters who have taken the mantle from the elders, they are such wonderful youths, so dedicated to this cause. This mission is in very, very safe hands because now it is in the hands of so many young people who will take this forward.
The past year is very new experience to me. Since it was a fresh start, I had to set up everything from the scratch. And initially it was very tense for me. And the thing which kept me going on was the belief that I had in Swami and also the support that I received from my elders.
The very fact that I have the capacity or I'm able of taking over the responsibilities and leadership is something that Swami has made me aware of.
I have grown significantly in terms of responsibility and spiritual understanding. This experience has clarified my purpose and deepened my connection with the divine.
Serving as Pradhana Palaka has shown me the real meaning of servant leadership.
As I reflect on my first year as Pradhana Palaka, I'm filled with immense gratitude. This journey has taught me that leadership is a shared responsibility.
It's been a great blessing on me, having got an opportunity to serve the place where I was born.
Interacting with parents and understanding each student's background is also another key part of this role. And it has taught me the importance of empathy and to see each student as a unique individual.
Over the past 12 months, I've learned and grown in many ways. Seeing students, staff and parents coming together to learn and grow is very inspiring and joyful.
I have learned to manage effectively both in day-to-day operations and during the unseen challenges. This had taught me to remain calm and composed under pressure.
Now I can see there is a lot of changes, there is a lot of confidence that comes in.
When it comes to managing people and situation, the one thing in this 1 year I have learned is Abhipraya Tyaga, sacrificing a personal opinion for the greater good of community where I am living. I am grateful to Bhagwan, Sadhguru and the management for supporting me in the journey of growth and service.
Looking back over the last 1 year, all of them have succeeded very well in adjusting to their new role, using their expertise that was there and the exposure and the learning from the elders from whom they have taken over.
May these youngsters be the most ideal batch of students who have taken charge. May they be examples for their younger brothers and sisters in time to come.
Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, keeping in view the continuity and perpetuation of the educational mission. You are starting these institutions is fine, but who is going to run them? He personally trained every one of the first 2 batches of boys and girls. This young infusion of young blood into the leadership ranks Therefore, the parents of the Pradhana Palakas or the young leaders definitely experienced a sense of fulfillment.
Nobody can be prouder than me today. Your success is my success, is the success of this mission, is the success of the sages and saints of this country, is the success of the divine will, and therefore your success has to happen. It is destined.
And just like last year, as a symbolic gesture of this passing of responsibilities, the Kartavya Danda will be handed over from the senior staff member to the Pradhana Palaka of each campus. With Sadhguru's blessings, the senior servitors will continue to serve in various capacities in the divine mission. We will now have the handing over ceremony. As I call out the names, I request each one of you to come forward. For Sri Sathya Sai Satya Niketanam Hasan campus, Sri Venkatesh Kamath will be handing over the Kartavya Danda to Brother Naveen R.A. Brother Naveen is from Ramapatna village. He's an MA graduate in Kannada from Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence and has been associated with the organization for 19 years. And Sri Venkatesh Kamath has been a pillar of our institution, serving tirelessly across various campuses, including Muddenahalli, Gulbarga, Hasan and Mandya. And now he has been blessed to take the charge of the Mudhol campus, Sri Sathya Sai Sharana Niketanam. Next, for Sri Sathya Sai Nitya Niketanam Belgavi campus, Sri Harish MS will be handing over the Kartavya Danda to Brother Shiv Kumar. Brother Shiv Kumar Khobri is an MSc graduate in physics and has been associated with the organization for 12 years. He has interned at Hasan, Mandya and Muddenahalli campuses. And Sri Harish, an alumnus of Muddenahalli's high school from the 93 batch, has been a beacon of service and education. He has served as chairman at Belgavi campus for 5 years, bringing a wealth of experience as a dedicated teacher since 2001. He will now be part of the NIOS team at Muddenahalli. For the Sri Sathya Sai Sharda Niketanam Mandya campus, Sri G.B. Rajashekar will be handing over the responsibility to Brother Dilip Kumar. Brother Dilip, who hails from Anantapur, his journey with the organization spans over a decade. He joined as a PUC student in Muddenahalli in 2012 and has completed his post-graduation in history. Sri G.B. Rajashekar, his journey with our institutions is a testament to lifelong dedication spanning over 25 years. After studying at Sathya Sai Grama from 92 to 97, he has served in various pivotal roles, including EHV and English teacher, warden, administrator, and Pradhana Palaka. He will now be a part of the Central Training and Leadership Department, mentoring interns and postgraduates. For the Sri Sathya Sai Seva Niketanam Koppal campus, Sri Sai Yatish will be handing over the baton to Brother Prakash M. Brother Prakash, hailing from Muddenahalli, is an MA graduate in history and has been with our institution for 17 years. He joined as a 6th grade student at Muddenahalli and has served as deputy chairman at Koppal campus since 22. Sri Sai Yatish's journey with our institution spans an impressive 24 years. His diverse experience includes serving at Alike, Jayapura and Koppal campuses. He will continue to serve as assistant manager in Premamrutham Prakashana department, and his dedication extends beyond administration. He has been a pioneer in creating educational content, recording 128 Kannada language video lessons during the COVID period. We now request everyone to come forward for a group photograph. Truly, each of their lives exemplify unwavering faith, service, and dedication to Swami's mission, inspiring us all to follow the path of love and selfless service. I now request our Chancellor, Shri B. N. Narasimhamurthy ji, to address us this evening.
Dearest Sadhguru, brothers and sisters, very dear students, boys and girls. We watched the video in which Sadhguru said, "Your success is my success, and I am very proud of you." What it means is, the measure taken by Sadhguru, keeping in you the continuity and perpetuation of the educational mission started by Bhagavan Sri Sat Sai Baba, is completely successful. I would congratulate all the Pradhana Palakas, both on the boys' side and girls' side, who have been doing wonderful work. At the same time, what is the secret of the success of this experiment? The secret is the relationship between Sadhguru and every one of the Pradhana Palakas, every one of them. Here I recall a statement from Lakshmana in the Ramayana when he was setting out along with Rama and Sita on his exile in the forest. All of us know the story, no elaboration is required. But there are very touching events that happened behind the scenes before they walked out of the palace. When they walked out of the palace, Rama being followed by Sita, Sita being followed by Lakshmana, thousands of our people were on the streets. And all of them were shedding tears. All of them were shedding tears. They did not want Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita to go away into the forest naturally. But behind the scenes, that morning, something happened which Valmiki has captured in his unique style, in his inimitable style. Valmiki was a sage and a poet, was blessed by Lord Brahma himself when he was asked or commanded to write the Ramayana. All of us know that Valmiki was a contemporary of Rama. One who wrote the biography of Rama was a contemporary. One who wrote the biography of Krishna, Bhagavan Vyasa, was a contemporary. Being a contemporary and writing the biography of a divine personality is itself a very divine experience. Lord Brahma had blessed with a unique capacity and ability he has bestowed upon Valmiki such a unique gift. The gift was when Valmiki asked, see, I was a hunter. I became a sage by just chanting the name of Rama. Now you ask me to write the story of the divine story of Rama. How would I know everything that happened? Then Lord Brahma told Valmiki, you have to just close your eyes and the whole story will happen. You will be able to see that. Just close your eyes, think of a particular episode. What happened when Dasharatha swooned in the palace of Kaikeyi? You will see that scene. When you want to see the scene when Sita crossed the Lakshmana Rekha and was therefore abducted by Ravana, you will be able to see it. Just close your eyes. This is not just that. you will also come to know what happened inside every one of the characters. What happened in their minds. What happened in the mind of Rama. When he was suddenly asked to go away to the forest, what happened? You have to just close your eyes. You will know what happened in the mind of Rama, what happened in the mind of Kaikeyi, what happened in the mind of Manthara, what happened in the mind of Ravana, what happened in the mind of Maricha. Everything you will know. So coming back to the behind the scenes activity, before the three of them, they set out on their exile in the forest, Lakshmana meets his mother, Sumitra. And he prostrates before her. See, those days, it was everybody's belief that father and mother are gods, were gods. So nobody need teach the children, you should prostrate, touch the feet, put your head on the feet of parents, father and mother. Nobody ever taught anybody. It was just so natural and spontaneous. And he expected Sumitra to be in tears because he was going away to the forest. He looked up, Sumitra was smiling. And he was stunned. Mother, I am going. I know that. But you always remember that you are born for this particular task of serving Rama in the forest. You are born for this purpose. And it is my tapasya, it is my penance that has given you this wonderful, great opportunity to serve Rama for 14 years without anybody around. And he felt very, very ecstatic. Lakshmana felt very ecstatic. See that you will never ever get distracted in your duty of looking after Rama and Sita. Rama is your father, Lakshmana is your mother, forest is Ayodhya. Then Lakshmana says one sentence, which is the secret of the Pradhana Palakas, boys and girls, why they succeeded and how they succeeded. He says, see, Lakshmana was such a person, he was so transparent. When he spoke, it was not his lips that spoke, it was his heart. He said, Aham sarvam karishyami jagrataha supatashvate. Aham sarvam karishyami jagrataha supatashvate. This is the promise he gave to mother. That is why in Ramayana Darshanam, composed by our great Kannada poet Kuvempu, he says, he declares, sacrifice of Sumitra was greater than that of Saumitra, greater than that of Kausalya. He says the sacrifice of Urmila, the wife of Lakshmana, was greater than that of Sita. Sita at least followed in the footsteps of Rama, whereas Urmila, she stayed away, stayed back. She stayed back for what? She said, if I also follow Lakshmana, my husband, who will serve Rama and Sita? Therefore, I am not going. I will do my penance in the palace. Penance in the palace was done by Urmila. Penance in a hut was done by Bharata. Bharata was crowned the king, but he walked away from the palace. He lived in a hut nearby in a village, Nandi Grama. That was his penance. Urmila stayed back in the palace, but she did penance. That's why their sacrifice is great. Therefore, Urmila deserved a husband like Lakshmana. And Sumitra deserved a mother. Sumitra deserved a son like Lakshmana. Lakshmana deserved a mother like Sumitra. Lakshmana deserved a wife like Urmila. What is this sentence? Aham Sarvam karishyami. Jagrataha swapatashvate. What does it mean? He said it and did it. He said, I will do everything without making any difference between Jagrata, wakeful state, and sleep state. I will do everything without making any difference. I will do everything without making any difference between day and night. See, that's what he did. 14 years he did it, and that helped him to kill Indrajit. Even Rama was not capable of killing Indrajit. I mean, that is the drama. Why? Because Indrajit had a boon from Lord Brahma. Unless a person has done that kind of tapas, when he will not sleep for 14 years, not at all sleep for 14 years, only he can kill you and nobody else can kill you. So it was only Lakshmana who could do that. So these boys and girls have that kind of relation with Sadhguru. That is what we expect of every boy and girl of our university. Please note this. Because Sadhguru has given his life to each of them. A piece of his life to each of them carry a piece of life of Sadhguru in them. I know each of these Pradhanapalakas, both boys and girls, personally. I can tell you, they have that kind of commitment and loyalty to Sadhguru, and that is the secret of their success, and nothing else. And nothing else. They have given a word. Swami, we will not bring a bad name to you. Because the kind of experiment that Swami undertook last year on the same day, Vijayadashmi, I tell you, not many people will do that. Transfer the leadership from 60-year-olds to 25, 26. A very courageous, very bold step. It is because of his courage that now I personally feel a sense of great fulfillment that these institutions will continue and are perpetuated. Till when? Sadhguru has trained you. He created a generation of leaders. And it is the duty of every one of the Pradhanapalakas to create such leaders, to take over from you. This Paramparantharana does not stop. You have to create such leaders. Sadhguru will not be able to do it. Personally, he will not be able to do it because he is so very busy. And also, a time will come when you are independent. You have no one to ask for advice. For everyone, it will happen. I have personally myself experienced what happened to Sadhguru. A crisis, in fact, when Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, after guiding him every minute for 10 years, withdrew himself and said, you are on your own. Depend on your intuition. A time like that will come. If not for this generation of leaders, the next generation of leaders who are also sitting here, maybe 6th, 7th, 8th class, you are going to face such a situation. Nobody to ask for advice. So it is your duty to create a line of leaders. Everyone will have to do that. See, that is how this mission will be perpetuated, and it is a part of the master plan of Sadhguru. It's a part of the master plan of Sadhguru. And what can I say? Having seen these institutions from the times of Madhyal Narayan Bhatt, then Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and now Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, personally, Swami, I am very, very grateful to you that I have no thought of any concern or worry. These institutions are permanent. Finally, on behalf of everyone gathered here and those who watched the Navaratri celebrations, we are very, very grateful to Swami. People have no doubt worked very hard. Everybody has worked. A lot of people have selflessly worked very hard, but it's your inspiration and your guidance. And when I think many of you get the same feeling. When you think that it is over, Navaratri celebration is over, a melancholic feeling of melancholy haunts. It was such a wonderful experience, and the kind of discourses, Swami, that you gave, and the kind of answers you gave to some of the questions. I tell you, some of the questions were very, very subtle, very, very subtle. And Swami, without blinking his eyes, he gave the answer so very transparently. A question like somebody asking, Swami, do you always know what is happening in every one of your devotees' minds? He gave the answer. Only he can give the answer. Dear brothers and sisters, very dear students, you and I are blessed. What more can I say? Swami, we are very, very grateful to you. Thank you. And now I pray to you for your benedictory discourse. Thank you very much. Sai Ram to you.
In Kathopanishad, a meditation mantra is given. It is called Yachet Vang Manasi Prajnyaha Tadyachet Jnanatmani Jnanatmani Mahatini Yachet Tadyachet Shantatmani. My mic is echoing. I can't hear myself clearly. What does that mean? Yachet Vang Manasi Prajnyaha, the person of wisdom, of discrimination, of some spiritual abilities, what does he do? He takes all his senses and merges them in the mind. Otherwise, senses run behind sense objects without any care. Like animals, they only go by their instincts. So what he does, he takes his instincts, lower instincts, and merges into the higher intelligence. Mind is capable of understanding things. So it takes all the senses, he takes and puts it into mind. It means mind is now understanding and aware of what is going on with the senses. It is not just instinctive. Then take the mind and merge it into buddhi, jnanatmani. What is buddhi? Buddhi is the ability to discriminate because of the storehouse of past experiences that it already has in the form of chitta. So buddhi is capable of knowing right from wrong, shreyas from prayas, pravritti from nivritti. And it has had experiences in the past of making mistakes and learning from it. So it recalls those experiences and is capable of discriminating what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong thing to do, and accordingly it can make a decision. So take the senses which run hither and thither, merge it into the mind which understands the purpose of senses. Take the mind which has no discrimination and merge it into buddhi. It means buddhi should control the mind and telling what to do, what not to do, because buddhi has that memory bank of all lives of experiences. And then what do you do? But individual buddhi can be prejudiced. It could be partial. It could be influenced because of one's own surroundings, one's upbringing, and many other experiences in life. So what do we do? How do we make sure that our buddhi is thinking right? It says, take that jnana atmani buddhi and merge it into mahati atmani, it says. So what is mahati atmani? Mahati atmani is the collective consciousness. Individual buddhi, individual consciousness to collective consciousness. It means Every time you decide what you want to do, it's just not for your own welfare, but it's for the welfare of every being. Mahati Atmani, it's a greater buddhi, greater intelligence at work, which is collective consciousness or collective intelligence of the entire society. So you choose the right thing according to that. But sometimes you might be living in a society which might have its own influences. A selfish society, a greedy society, a non-spiritual society, unspiritual society. What do you do then? And he says, take that also and merge it into Shantatmani. Shantatmani is the supreme consciousness. How the divine thinks. Let us think like that. And then we can never make a mistake. We will always choose the right things because we are inspired by divinity. In other words, if I put it in simpler terms, it is from instincts to intelligence to intuition. This is the growth. Animals live by their instincts. They run behind anything. They see food, they see a mate, they see anything. They just go by that. If they have a fear, they will attack without thinking, without discriminating. It's very natural, instinctive. From that, you take decisions based on your intelligence, which is capable of understanding right from wrong, what is good for everyone, and then apply the principle of greater good every time in your decision making. Not your individual good, but the greater good. That is Mahati Atmani. And from there, even better is to be guided by your intuition, which is the seat of the divine. It doesn't even need to think, it just knows. A situation comes, it need not sit and make a table of pros and cons and for it and against it. It doesn't have to do anything. It just knows this is right. The only thing that is required at that point of time is to be absolutely detached from your decision. If you are attached to your decision, then you'll have to make a chart. What could be the consequences, pros and cons of making any decision. But if you are guided by intuition, you don't need to do that because intuition is like an arrow which goes straight to the target without any deviation. So the one who masters the art of being always established in the intuition, such a person needs no time to decide on things. Such a person's convictions are actually God's convictions. Such a person's decisions are Vajrasankalpas. They're infallible. That is possible only for somebody who is able to operate from the seat of intuition. Now, why it does not happen to everybody? Because they are not following this process of merging their instincts into the mind, into the buddhi, into the collective consciousness, into the ultimate intuition. Because there are attachments, there are desires, which come in the way of intuition. Like the sunlight, which is colorless, when it passes through a colored glass, acquires the stain of the glass, the color of the glass, and then is seen as red, blue, green, or whatever color light. Likewise, God's intuition, when it gets colored by our individual preferences, likes, dislikes, attachments, and desires, it gets colored. It does not produce the same effect. So what is the difference between a spiritual person who is, or you call it a jnani, versus an ajnani? Jnani operates from the seat of intuition. Ajnanis operate from intelligence at best or instincts. Instincts are ajnanis, thorough ajnanis there. Because they just go like animals doing things as per their whims and fancies without even thinking of the consequences or discriminating about it. So when I passed on this baton of responsibility to the next generation, the only thing I told is that please apply this formula and always try to operate from your intuition. Do not, intelligence is okay, but instinct not at all okay. But then they ask me, how do I know it is intuition every time? Because sometimes your intelligence can act up and, in the guise of intuition may say that I am actually God thinking through me and not my own mind. But you are driven by your desire. Now you want to justify it somehow that God would also think this way only. But you know in your heart of heart, there is a little doubt. There is something that keeps nagging you. There is something that keeps pricking you, bothering you. And you know that this is not intuition. Because intuition is so clear, so blemishless, so pure, so unsullied, so impartial, so direct, so free of doubts and suspicions, apprehensions and anxieties. It is so clear. It may be very risky, it might be bold, it might be very, outlandish, whatever you call it, but it knows that it is right. So it is not having any fear and anxiety. So when that happens, your decisions or whatever you do in life will always be right. But are you capable of doing it every day, every time? No. Because we are always influenced by our previous lives, experiences, our fears, our failures, or on the other side, overconfidence of our certain successes. They come in the way of God's intuition, and that is where we make mistakes in life. So this intuition operates with pure love. It has no desire for itself, no asks for itself, no expectations, no conditions. It just does what is right for that moment. And it knows that it is doing the right thing. It doesn't get afraid of it. So when these people tell me, how do you make these decisions? Again, if I say I am making the decision, that would be in a way wrong, because they're referring to the body-mind intelligence complex. I only say that at that point of time, you just surrender all your mind, body, intelligence, experiences, all your capabilities, and let the divine take over and flow. He may not need your abilities at all. He may still get it done. But I have seen people struggle with it because of the baggage of their own personal prejudices, attachments and desires. That's why when in the video when Shantagowda said, Abhipraya Tyaga Madbeku, you have to give up your personal ideas and prejudices for the sake of doing what you have got to do. I tell you, this is such a wonderful thought. Anybody and everybody who applies this, that my individual ideas, personality, my personal traits and prejudices should not come in the way of what needs to be done. Then the sunlight will pass through like a transparent glass and it will reach in the same way as it started from the sun, without being colored and without being influenced. And that is true leadership, according to me. The one who can operate from intuition can alone be a true leader. Others can be at best followers. And if they have a bad leader, God save you. Because the leader also does not have intuition. Andhe naiva niyamana yahandaha. Like blind leading the blind, all will go and fall in a pit. So one fellow who has his eye open is necessary to take care of the others who cannot see. And the intuition is the real eye. This is Shiva is represented, or Mother also is represented with 3 eyes, you see. They don't have a physical 3 eyes. Don't start looking for an anatomy sample for 3 eyes to prove that there is nothing like 3 eyes. It doesn't exist. The 3rd eye is the intuition. They are able to see things beyond what we are capable of with our minds and our senses. They are able to, like in English we say, it is a way to say. When somebody says, will you come here? We say, I will see if I can. I will see does not mean I will see how will I come to your place, what is the way, not like that. It is just a way of saying. It's a way of speaking. Likewise, this 3rd eye is a way of symbolic representation of one's capability of knowing things beyond the reach of mind and body. That is why Upanishad says, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. From where the words return, from which the mind cannot grasp. That is the intuition. Words cannot explain why not, nor mind can comprehend it. It just knows what it wants to do. And it comes to only those who are pure-hearted, who have no selfishness, no desires, no personal agenda, and do not allow their personality to interfere with God's wish. They are the ones who are very capable of leading anything, anyone, any nation, any organization. If you have such understanding and leadership, we are very blessed. We have to think like that. So all the leadership is about acting from intuition. And if you go back and look at Mahatma Gandhi, he also talks about it. He talks about Vivekananda, he talks about it. Because all these great ones somehow eventually figured that out, that is the only way. But the problem is, sometimes when it says things, it is so overwhelming, because our limited mind and its rationale somehow cannot appreciate or comprehend what it is trying to say, because it is seeing something far ahead, far beyond us. So it is able to say things according to what's coming ahead or what is necessary, which none of us can really comprehend. And this I have seen any number of times, at least in our experience in the last 10, 12 years. When 10 people will come with a lot of ideas after having done enough research, after having done enough calculations, and come and suggest these are the most practical ways of doing things. And then I will put all that research aside and say, my intuition says it won't work this way, it has to work this way. And then all the intelligences are troubled. Because so much work they have done based on their experiences in their lives, and they're all very senior. So they come and say, no, this is not the way it is going to work. But I say, I cannot explain to you how it is going to work, but I just know that this is what will work and that won't work. Let's just go ahead and do that. And then after some time also, if they are unable to overcome their personal, whatever their personalities and agree to it, then what do I do? Bhishasmad dvatah pavate, Bisho deti surya. I raise the voice little bit, few decibels go up, all the egos come down. Otherwise, mind is such a stubborn buffalo. That's why Mahishasura Mardini doesn't listen. Dunna Pota doesn't listen. So stubborn of his ego. And he is so foolishly proud of it. It is a fool, but it's proud of its foolishness. This is unfortunate. Somebody knows he is wrong, you can correct him. Somebody does not even believe that he is wrong, how can you correct such a person? You can wake up a sleeping person. Who was pretending to be asleep, you cannot wake him up. So our human egos are instinct driven, at best intelligence driven. But divine intuition is bereft of ego, is bereft of attachment, is bereft of all individuality, our preferences and likes and dislikes. It is only interested in the selfless good, selfless right that needs to be done now. And that requires courage because it is swimming against the tide. When everybody is saying or doing things according to their intelligence or maybe instincts, here is an intuitive person who says, no, things have to be different from what you are saying. And the risk of it is, now it's a different matter. I'm very privileged that nobody, finally everybody agrees to whatever is going to happen. Everybody agrees, so we are progressing so fast. Imagine another situation where a corporate or organization or government or a committee where everybody comes in a munde matir binna, everybody thinks differently. They bring different questions and answers and no decisions are made. Today I was talking to the governor this only. And he was also telling me, democracy is a boon and also a bane in some way. Boon because yes, it is the right thing to do. Everybody should have a voice and representation. But the bane is the kind of moral degeneration that has happened in the society where people can sell their conscience for a few rupees. Democracy is a dangerous weapon in their hands because they don't have the moral stability, integrity, character to use democracy in the right way. And so it is creating anarchy, it is creating pollution, contamination in the society. This is what he said. I said, yes, of course. But what is the other option, he said. I said, democracy based on a country full of people who have character and morality, that democracy alone is useful. All other is not useful. All other kind of democracies. So can we bring autocracy? Can we bring other kinds of social orders? No. That won't be good either. Gone are the days when Grama, like a Raja, was there who looked after everybody's welfare beyond his own personal welfare, sacrifice for everyone's sake. Gone are those days where everybody thought Raja is the mother, father, everything. In fact, when Sita was removed from the palace and Rama told Lakshmana to drop her at Valmiki's ashram on the other side of the Saryu river, first she also complains to Lakshmana, I was not told that this is what is being done to me. I had expressed the desire to Sri Rama that I haven't visited Valmiki ashram, I haven't seen the sages. I am now I'm pregnant, I would like to visit some of the holy places and seek the blessings of the great ones. I had expressed this desire. I thought you are bringing me to show me around and take me to these places, but I did not know that I was being abandoned. And she gets very upset. She complains to Lakshmana, and Lakshmana is speechless. He has no answers because he simply follows whatever Rama says. He is the shadow of Rama. He can't say, explain or justify anything. But he also becomes sad. His throat, chokes and heart becomes heavy, but he has no answers. Then Sita herself comes to senses. She gains control of her emotions and says, no, Rama is the father and mother for the whole kingdom. And so he is doing what is good for everyone. And therefore I must agree and accept whatever he has decided and I will abide by it, she says. Finally he gains composure and calmness and agrees to that. Rama is the father and mother for the entire world, entire praja. That kind of time of social order is gone, where one king can, command such respect and loyalty and obedience. Those days are over. The only other way is democracy. But democracy means everybody, some people be acting as per their instincts, some others will be acting as per their intelligence. Hardly anybody acts with his intuition. So there is whole confusion in the society. So what is the solution? Then he was telling me, we have to find a solution, an answer to this problem. I said, when everybody in the society becomes morally strong, they have a strong character, they do what is right, society will naturally be set in order. That didn't even appeal to him because it sounded like one of those very impractical, philosophical, spiritual answers which doesn't work. It's good to hear, but we know it doesn't work. I told, no, I have a plan. I'm not just saying you things like that. I told, for every 10,000 people in the society, there should be one such person, a leader, who lives by intuition and guides all of them. When we have such leaders in the society, then we will be able to guide the society towards the right direction. Right now, we have maybe one leader in a billion people. It's very difficult to touch base with everyone and direct them and correct them. It's not possible. And all the other leaders who are supposedly existing at lower orders or whatever at the community levels, are they living by intuition? Are they having that capacity to lead people? No, it's blind leading the blind. That is why this is the situation of the country and whatever the societies. So what is the solution? I said, I am preparing youngsters here. And each of them I am training to be guided by this higher intuition to do the right thing. And right now I may be having just a few hundreds, but the time will come. For every 10,000 people in this country, I will have one of my own groomed, trained, mentored student who will guide them. And they are not going to wear ochre robes and grow long hair and beard and all the paraphernalia and drama that goes around spirituality. They will be just ordinary, common people who will work in the society. They will merge in the society, mix in the society, gel in the society, won't even stand out, and yet they will do what is needed to be done. Quietly, silently, selflessly, they will do it. He said he was very stunned by this answer. Then he started calculating, we are 1.4 billion people, so how many people will be required? That will require hundreds, 100,000, 150,000 people. I said, yes, it will require that many people. More than 1 lakh boys and girls are required who will be there everywhere in the society, not necessarily young only. Anybody who is guided by intuition, who is connected to the divine, who is selfless, such a person is required. Oh, that many people, how much time it will take, he asked. I told it may take a few decades, or maybe it will happen faster, I do not know, but I am at it. We are working. We have started the process, and slowly, steadily, I hope it will reach somewhere. Then he was very, very reassured, I think, by this answer. That's what he was mentioning. They also purify the society. How do we do that? Because they are sitting at positions of influences, but helplessly. They are kind of, I should not compare, but like Dhritarashtra's. They see things happen, but they can't control it. So what is the solution? I said, young people, the next generation has to be trained in such leadership skills where they're guided by God. They're driven by divinity. That is when there is going to be some hope for the society. Otherwise, I don't see any hope. Today democracy takes one shape, tomorrow another. And it's getting degenerated with every passing election. It is not even near where it was originally thought to be. But can we throw it away? I don't think. I said we'll have to repair it, we have to heal it, we have to rejuvenate it. That is all that we can do. And the only option is such leaders of the future who have it in them to lead the country, lead the people around them. And for a community of 10,000, at least one such leader, one such guide should be there. A mentor should be there. Only then things will improve. See, in old times, sages and saints did this job. Temples and their priests did this job. Gurukulas and acharyas did this job. But today, who is there? Everything is contaminated and corrupted by commerce. Schools are private education driven. Government teachers, government school people do not have the passion for it. And there are no gurukulas of the old times existing anymore, where selflessly people have given up everything for the sake of building a better society. Where does it exist, you tell me? Even so many of these matas I have seen, they have become relics of their past, I must say. They are not even walking the path that was originally shown by their original founders. Because easy way out, it's easy, Preyo Marga. Charge a fee, namesake put a few quotes here and there, teach them a little Vedam and ask them to do a little bit of cultural activities and believe that somehow they'll all become very good. It doesn't happen. It requires constant effort, personal effort, personal attention, personal motivation, guidance. And that is what we could give to these children, the young ones who have taken charge in the last couple of years. But those were very happy days where people were less, a lot of attention could go to these people. But now times have changed. Now giving the same amount of attention to them is impossible for me. But I believe that they will be able to give that kind of personal attention and guidance to the next generation and mentor them and bring them up. But as I said, you have, if you want to do as good a job as what I did, then you have to be me. There is no other way. If you are anything less than me, then you will do a lesser job than me. And after 10 generation, every 10% loss, generation after generation will become zero. There is no guidance, no mentorship, no nothing. So you cannot afford to degenerate. You cannot afford to even lose 1% of the commitment, the guidance, the mentorship, or whatever qualities that you have learnt. Because every passing generation there will be loss of efficiency, loss of commitment, loss of this courage and conviction. And some generations down the line it won't exist. So it is so important to retain that. In fact, only grow it from here. And all these responsibilities on the shoulders of these boys and girls. I don't think they even understood when they took up what they're taking up, Ignorance is bliss. So most of them just plunged in saying, we'll have a happy time. In a few days, they realize real hot seat, chairpersons or whatever they call chair people. This is not going to be an easy one. It's a bed of thorns. They figured it out quite quickly. And they went through their struggles, which we had to expect, because there was inner struggle too, when they were worried that were they adequate for the job that has been given to them. Would they end up doing disservice by not being able to do it well? So those self-doubts haunted them. But they overcame that through some mistakes, through some lessons here and there. Some of them inadvertently did things which were not meant to be done because they did not know that is right or wrong, so they made mistakes. Some had to be forgiven, some had to be corrected, and some places, some decibels had to be raised. All that happened during these years. And some of them, as I said, they took up even bigger responsibility than what was told to them. They went out of their way to do much more than what was told to them. There were a few like that also. So we had a very nice but mixed experience of all these children taking charge of things. But definitely there is a promise that they show. There is hope in their ways. There is a commitment, there is a kind of courage, conviction that they display, which is definitely beyond the people of that age. And it is because of their devotion, their loyalty, and their commitment to this mission. Definitely that is the reason. Otherwise they won't push themselves so hard to take up such kind of things. But they are examples now. All those who are seated in this hall, if I have to count, for every 10,000 one such a leader, I will have at least 5,000 leaders sitting here if I go by that, and few more around the place. So I should be getting there 100,000 or 150,000 very soon, isn't it? That depends on all of you. If each one of you takes up, then we will be reaching there faster. If each one of you does a shorter job, then we will be reaching slower. So it all depends on how much work we do, and it doesn't require anything. Just be connected to the divine within. That's all it is required. Let intuition guide your ways. And that intuition demands selflessness, desirelessness, fearlessness. This is walking and blessing the Sevadals who have done a wonderful job of looking after our comforts during the last 10 days, very hectic and intense days. They did not enjoy the festivities because they had to work so that we could enjoy all that things. So for them, I was walking and somebody asked me how to be a good servant, good instrument of yours. And I said, desirelessness. Instrument cannot have a desire of its own. I want to behave like this. It has to surrender itself in the hands of the user, whoever is the master, and master will use the instrument as he wants. You can't have your ideas and my ideas both, like two swords in the same scabbard. It's not possible. Likewise, two minds cannot exist. Jnanatmani exists, then Mahati Atmani won't exist. Mahati Atmani exists, Shanta Atmani won't exist. The truth is just allow that Shanta Atmani alone to exist. Everything else should follow the orders of that Shanta Atmani. In charge should be the intuition. And how do you know it is your intuition? It is direct, it is courageous, it is fearless, it is selfless, it is desireless. It is only doing what is good for everyone. And you can apply this in every little thing. Don't worry about some great big decisions in life another day. Small things, from waking up to going to sleep, in everything apply intuition. And pray for a few seconds and apply this intuition till you develop that constant connection. Sometimes our connection, like our internet, comes and goes. So that time you might get wrong ideas. So constant connection means constant sadhana. Constant sadhana means constantly remembering God and good things. So always being immersed in that Ishwaratvam, Ishwara Bhava is very important. Otherwise Jiva Bhava will take over and keep creating confusions. So this is the spiritual sadhana. If we all behave as divine wants us to do, then no problem in the world. Everybody will live happy lives. Even then, if she has to become Marishasura Mardini and finish a few asuras, she will do it through us, if that is the necessity. Or if she has to, or the divine consciousness has to guide to change a Ratnakara, the dacoit, into a sage without punishing or killing, that also is possible. Whatever be the path, the divine shall decide. So this is how it works for all of us. Now I'll only ask a question and answer it for myself. So are you all the time in the state of intuition so that you are able to always take the right decisions? Let me tell you, I also have this Jiva Bhava. No? Sometimes I look at somebody's helplessness, somebody's problems. My human compassion becomes dominant. My divine side tells me, no, that's their karma, just don't interfere, leave it like that. They have to go through what they have to go through. Don't try to solve this. It tells me somewhere deep down, but sometimes my overtly compassionate nature interferes with that and says, still, let me try to solve the problem. And I have seen every time I put my hand into such situations, I only burned my fingers. And hard lessons I've learned, that even compassion, which we think is compassion, could be driven by a sense of attachment, could be driven by a sense of doership, could be driven by a sense of relief for oneself. It may not be necessary. Now you know why some of the prayers are answered and some are not answered. Because you pray for everything, but that intuition knows this prayer need not be answered, should not be answered, must not be answered at times. But sometimes my heart, or whatever you call it, the human side of mine, becomes too compassionate. Then I say, no, let us try to help. But divine side says, don't even touch, don't interfere. That person has to go through the karma, has to go through the suffering. But then 5 people write to me after that. If wife is suffering, then first husband will write, then the daughter will write, then the son will write. After 5 people write, I am not able to sit quiet. Then I tell, let me do something, pray something. But I have realized that that's not the way. So intuition is that subtle. This is what I want to say. You may call it compassion, and how can compassion be a wrong thing to do? How can compassion not be right? Is it not divine? And you may go and apply your idea of compassion, but that compassion is not true compassion because it's not driven by intuition. It's again driven by your intelligence, maybe instinctive compassion. So even there you have to apply intuition in subtle things, not even in the gross things. That far, intuition has to be practiced. And when you keep practicing every time you pray and intuitively do things, see, it gets stronger. Your ability to intuitively do things becomes better and better and better. Your confidence increases, your abilities increase. It's like, as I said, using the same muscle again and again becomes stronger. Muscle becomes stronger. You become good at it. Like our people learn new things, they go by the entire process. There is a card, they read, step by step they prepare whatever food they want to prepare. But after some 5-10 years of work, they just intuitively know that the food is cooked, whether the salt is enough, whether the spices are enough. They just know it. So that is what I'm saying. After several times of practice and application of intuition, one day you will become master at it. You will never get deviated after that. But let me tell you, even at this stage where I sit, sometimes I do get deviated because, not for the wrong reason, but for these kind of right reasons. Ayo, they are so poor. Ayo, they are suffering. Let us do something. Let us help. But then they turn out to be very ungrateful afterwards. Sometimes they feel they're entitled and then later they demand things also. Last time you help now also. But I ask them, what did you do between last time and now? Did you work hard? Did you try to solve your issues? No efforts on their side. They become parasites. So that is the other danger of being too compassionate. So intuition only should guide. Whether it is a punishment or a compassionate forgiveness, everything should be guided by intuition. That is what is right. If that is not being done, I am afraid that we might feel that we are good leaders and good devotees, but at the end we will end up with a lot of mess. So these are the simple practical tips I am giving for those who are on this path, because they may not know or they may not learn it on their own. And our scriptures don't give you a practical lab test, They only give you theory and say you use it for yourself. But practical, now you think why Rama did what he did, how he did what he did. It was driven by a higher idea of intuition. He was not here to punish somebody or take revenge on Ravana or even admonish Sita. Nothing. He just went by what was right, what is dharma, and that is dharma is driven by his intuition, and therefore what it is right. They say Satyam Vada Dharmam Cha. This is dharma. When you are established in intuition, everything will be dharma. You don't have to do dharma. Whatever you do becomes dharma. You don't have to say Satya. Whatever you say becomes Satya for such people, because they are driven by intuition. There is no, as I said, no doubt there, no fear there, no anxiety there, and absolute clarity and absolute conviction. So this is, and also absolute detachment from the results also. We might start intuitively, but as I said, munde matir binna, I may say one thing, as it is understood down the line, 10 people applying their minds, too many cooks, it gets spoiled at the end. Then people come and ask, but you only told, then how did it get spoiled? I just look at their face and smile, then look at the mirror, you are the reason why it got spoiled. You didn't do exactly what I told you, you tried your own things, therefore we are in a mess. And I've gone back and seen any project that struggled or stopped or suffered, it is because of too many people applying too much of their brains with the understanding that they know better, and that is where things have gone wrong for us. But wherever we simply surrendered and did not apply our individuality, all that has been very, very successful. Now, if you can think in 10-15 years this has been such a successful mission, is because largely it was driven by intuition, and all the other people who were part of the mission, they all were very surrendered to that intuition, that intuitive call. Through bhakti, through jnana, whatever be the path they might have taken, they surrendered to that greater idea. Therefore, this grew so fast. It didn't take time we didn't waste time discussing unnecessarily and wasting our time and resources doing things wrongly. So all the young leaders, please practice this idea of intuition, and you try once or twice. You will get to know what it is. It is not something that I can pass it on to you. It is something that you have to develop inherently inside you by practicing it. And every time you take a decision, pray. Pray and say, God, I want to be guided by your wisdom. I do not want my individuality, my personality, my ideas or intelligence to interfere with what you want. Let me have the heart. Remember the poetry from Rabindranath Tagore, give me the strength to surrender my strength to your will with love. This is what is the way to intuition. So practice this, and I have a lot of blessings to all the Sevadal staff, everybody who organized this program, and best wishes to the new generation of Pradhan Palakas who will take the mantle from the senior ones, and the senior ones will continue to share their wisdom and experience and guide more people. Instead of just being stuck to one campus, they'll be able to share that experience with everyone. That is the idea. And as we conclude the Dasara and the Navaratri celebrations, we have a musical recital by the students of our university and staff on various musical traditions of India, bhakti to various languages also. We will enjoy that, and tomorrow onwards I am traveling. I'll be back after 1 month. See, I don't even take 1 day's break. So I started, and 1 month later I'll be back. Is that okay? You have to behave yourselves. Be guided by intuition. Your intuition doesn't say that I should not go. I have to go because that is how the work is. You can't tell sun shine all the time here, don't go to the other side. It doesn't happen. It shines everywhere, wherever it wants, it goes. Because it has to give life and nourishment to everybody, everywhere. So that is the idea. But you people, whatever you have picked up from here, be committed to that, following that, you see. That is most important. Otherwise, all these efforts will be wasted. So, of course, nothing goes waste, but then it won't have the same result because you didn't put enough efforts on this path. So keep putting the efforts, and you will definitely achieve that state where you are always constantly in communion with your divine self. So whatever you think, say and do becomes Satya and Dharma. That kind of life you all should lead. With these words of blessings, I will conclude for this event, and we'll hear the musical recital.